Okay, guys, welcome to a new series on the channel. I have become the head of youth development at Chelsea Football Club. Now, what that means, I've taken over the U21s and the U18s. I can't play any games for the main senior squad. I've changed staff responsibilities to make sure that's what's going ahead. I can't renew contracts. I can't sign players for the main squad. I can only do that for the U21s. I don't have control over the staff of the main squad, and of course, I can only do that for the youth teams. So I did make some signings though. We brought in Alan Abando, who is an 18-year-old Ecuadorian whose contract was running out, so we picked him up for a cheap deal. Could have loaned him out, but kept him on for the U21 squad. And Pietro Camuzzo, who we signed for £2.5 million to play in the U21 squad this season as well. Of course, loans are a main part of development of a young player, which it would be helpful to do that to some of our players. We did sign this guy as well, and he is out on loan. So it would be helpful to loan out our players, right? But I thought, just to start with, we'll go with this, keeping these boys on and see what happens. But we did loan out a fair amount of players. These are U21s that have all been loaned out, and hopefully they can get some development on them. So, of course, you have to make a tactic with the main squad. You cannot change anything in here. These are the players. We have Harrison Murray Campbell, a young centre back who's developing already. Um, Leo Cardoso, who was just brought up from the U18s for numbers because I did loan out a lot of players. Of course, Alan Abando up top. You'll see the star ratings are pretty low. That's because it's compared to the first team. So Pietro Camuzzo's come in, and the goal here is to really just win some leagues. You know, win some leagues with these youth squads, and make sure they can get to the first team, or some of them can, and they start performing well, sell for a profit, or play really well for the main squad. You know. So this U21 squad, we've only played 2 games, but they've won 2-3-0, with right back Brody Hughes being a good player so far. And he's developing. So hopefully that can just keep going ahead. If you see the plan there. Down in the U18s there has been no signings, but apparently some regens spawned in. And we have some high rated players compared to the U21s, like Shimueka, who scored 2 goals and got 1 assist at 15 years old. These players could develop really well. They've played 2 games in the U18s Division South, and they've won both of them 2-1. I'm not sure where this goes to, what this we'll check the rules actually. There's a group stage here, and you win it, you go to the final. Alright, okay. Gonna have to win that then. If we go here, I'd like to check. Oh, never mind. Where can you check the competitions? Because if we're in a cup, we're just gonna do this. This is the cup they're in. It's the FA Cup, of course. For the U18s, the Youth Cup is a prestigious trophy for youth competition, and our Chelsea boys are in there. So hopefully they can win that. So that is the goal. You can see all the players I've loaned out. We don't really have um, 2 high-rated players. We've got Aaron Anselmo out on loan. You know, we don't have great potential so far, but when we get into the next seasons, the players will start coming through. We need our youth prospects who'll go through the U18s, through the U21s, and then into the main squad. And that's just the goal, isn't it? So I'll see you at the end of the season when we've got these players come in, and we'll do a review of how we got on. So guys, the season is done, and the main Chelsea squad, they had a good year. They had a third place finish, they won the Conference League and the Carabao Cup, so that's a good season. Champions League football back at Chelsea. Now, I did make some signings. Obviously, they're coming in the summer, and I'm excited to use them in the U21s. But I did make some signings towards the end of the season in January there. I signed Severi Halset Nipan and Simone Pafundi. Now, Pafundi has been excellent in the U21s. He's developing pretty nicely. What's he got? He's got 22 goals and 15 assists in 25 games in the U21s. He's obviously too good for the league. He's going to get a loan move next season. But Sverre Halstead Nipan, I took him into the U21s. My coaching staff said he's too good. He needs the game time in the top team. So I'm making the rules up. I just locked him in to the main team. So, yeah, I make the rules. There's no cheating on that. Well, let's actually take a look at our youth candidates section, because we did have a youth intake, of course. We got a goalie, Ian Dickinson, who he's come in to the U18s. He's kept 4 clean sheets in 5 games. He could be the goalie for the future. He seems to have good potential. He's got good reflexes. The aerial reach isn't there, but that's because he's still growing. He is pretty tall, to be fair, but he's a bit slow as well. So I'll try and develop him through the academy. Do the best I can. We had he was already spawned here. Another goalkeeper. He's Finnish. He's not played a game yet, but he's injured anyway. He's not the greatest. We had Dujon Radmore, a centre back, came through. He seems to be developing quite nicely. Hopefully we can get these kind of guys through into the main team. He's got decent physicals. They could develop a bit more, and they're on their way to doing that. He needs those technicals upgraded. I do have him working on his defensive position because he needs that marking really badly to be a centre back. Our next big star, or hopefully big star, was Joshua Oko, who came in. He's played 6 games, 2 assists, so not the greatest. Hopefully he can develop. A little Danish player there, part Nigerian, part English. He's a good player. His mentals are good for the role of attacking midfielder. He's got good passing. He's got great technique. He's a bit slow. He can't jump. He's tiny as well. And yeah, so we'll just see what happens with him. We had Anthony Easton, who we are, of course, training to be a right back. He's got decent physicals. He's got great tackling for his age. His teamwork and work rate are just perfect for that right back role. And then another right back, we had Saul Bancroft, who's developed pretty nicely actually. He's grown in potential as well. And I think he'll be good. I think this guy will be a main player. He's got great crossing, that's what you want. His physicals are good. His mentals are alright. They're not really there. He doesn't need the flair. I don't believe in that. Off the ball needs work done, but I was just trying to get him that defensive positioning for the marking and the positioning. Jacob Boyd, we're playing him at DM. He's not got, again, the defensive positioning, but that is something that can always be worked on. And he's going to turn out to be a great player. Those are the main guys. Don't really need to worry about anything down here. Just those are the main guys. Let's get to the U18s, because we had a good season here. We had the U18 Division 1 South, where it came out on top, and of course, as you've just seen, they won the final that they played at Man City U18s in. Go look at the stats, because you can check the player stats apparently. Shimweka got 27 goals from 24 games. Maybe he is a player. He got a debut in the first team as well, played a game as a substitute in the Carabao Cup. But hopefully this guy can come through. He'll be going into the U21s, I'm pretty sure, next year maybe. Because stuff went on in the U21s. We had, what's going on? Regepi, I'm not sure he's any good. I am not sure he's any good. He should be getting loaned out. His potential's rubbish. And his stats aren't any better, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. Most assists, we had Marcel Washington, a left back who I promoted him to the U21s for the end of the season there. 25 assists, or 27 assists. Wait, what? No, 13. So he had 25 in all comps. Most clean sheets, we had Robbie Parker here, dropping a 10 before he was replaced by Dickinson. Let's get back there. This was what we were playing. I'm pretty sure this locks them in, so these guys are kind of just placeholders. Jesse Perales got moved up into U21s, and Marcel Washington got moved up to U21s as well. So that's a good team for U18s. No wonder they won every game. U21s, we had a great time here. The U21s won the Premier Division. They have a league table where they won every single game. And in the round of 16, they beat Nottingham Forest. Quarterfinals beat Arsenal. Semi-finals beat Man City, and then final beat Tottenham. That was probably thanks to players like Alan Abando, who has now developed very nicely. He's played a game in the Prem. He started one. So that means we have developed him extremely well. And he might be getting a loan move next season. He's played 2 games for Ecuador as well. 2 goals, or a game and 2 goals, yep. Of course, we know Pafundi, 22 goals, 50 assists. He might be getting a first team appearance next year. With players like Richard Elise, who's now 20, I think it'll be time to move him on. Like we did with Brody Hughes here, who was our best player in... Oh, you can't see it? That's a shame. He was our best player in that U21 season. So many assists in all comps, and just had to sell him on. We did have other competitions, like the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, where we were knocked out at some point. I'm just trying to find the group we were in. Of course, we were in this group. We won a game 3-0, and then we won on penalties 3-3, and then we lost 1-0, which did put us through. The quarterfinals, we beat Bolton. Semi-finals, we lost to Blackpool. Found our level, which is a pretty good level, to be fair. We did have an international cup, which I do like the international cup at the youth age, where we only finished second in the group because we lost 2-0 to Barcelona. Quarterfinals, we beat Bayern, beat Barcelona 3-0, and then we beat Arsenal, and that is, I'm pretty sure, the double so far. We'll have to find if there's anything else. We did lose the cup. We lost the cup to Bournemouth there, and then they went on to win it. So, just the double for the U21s, and the U18s, I'm pretty sure, only managed the one trophy as they were knocked out by West Brom U18s. So that's a shame. But overall, I think that's pretty good. I wish this was more accessible. This page isn't really accessible, is it? It's not like this, where you can just see the competitions, what you've done. You actually have to go and search through stuff. But let's look at some players that we've got here. We have Simon Pafundi, Simone Pafundi, who will maybe appear for the first team next season or get a loan move. Alan Abando the same, Harrison Murray Campbell here is developed very, very nicely. Like, you would never expect this guy to make an appearance for Chelsea, but I think he genuinely could at some point. Maybe another loan move, or one loan move, because he's not been loaned out yet. Of course, we have Tyreek George, who went out on loan. He developed pretty well out there at Lincoln. Aaron Anselmino, he didn't develop too much. He got more tackling. It's pretty nice. He needs another loan move. He's 20 years old. I don't know what's going to happen to him. Jimmy J. Morgan, I'd like him to come back and play some games at U21 level. I think, because he didn't really develop out on loan at Gillingham, but we had Omari Kellyman out on loan at Huddersfield, who he played 39 games for them. He developed pretty nicely. I'm fine with that. He can go again. Leo Castledine was out at Shrewsbury. These guys are getting insane value on them as well, which is pretty nice. Pietro Camuzzo had a good season for us. He won a double. I think he would want a loan move though. There's Genesis Antwi, 28 assists for him in the season. Ugachukwu was out on loan. He's just probably going to have to get sold. Mark Guyu, I loaned out. Barely played. So that's my fault. Maybe should have kept him around. Samuel Smith, sorry. He's decent. Developed alright. David Washington, 15 goals in the championship, and he's not coming on too well. Josh Achiampong, yep, definitely a player. Gabriel Slanina, 15 clean sheets in the championship. I would like to see him in the main squad, actually. That'll really be all we're going to look at. Well, Kari Chukwemeka and Andre Santos down here have really lost all their potential whilst out on loan. So you can see some loan moves don't really do much for you, but like players like Tyreek George or Mari Kellyman, those loan moves are good. So I have £95 million to spend on young players. This is what I'm doing. I've got this set up here with all the stats matching from 13 to 47. And I'm probably only going to be able to sign 4 players because of those 2 coming in. So I do want to sign some English players though. That is key to what I want to do. I want to sign players that can be homegrown because they can come through at 16. Like homegrown at club, and that would be great. I do want to see some of that. Because if you sign a foreign player, they won't be able to come in until they're 18. So they wouldn't be homegrown at club. But then if you get a 16-year-old English, Scottish, Welsh player, they can come in immediately and get homegrown at club, and that would help for the future. Of course, I know names, so I'm going to know which players are good or not. Which is kind of cheating, I guess. But I am scouting these guys anyway. So that'll be the end of episode 1. Episode 2 should be better. I'll have more Wonderkids to sign. Have more ability to sign them because I've got 95 million now. And hopefully the teams will keep winning. So I'll see you in episode 2.